Okay, we're up to Nazir. We're up to the fifth parak, base Shammai Oimrim, and it begins on Daf Yomi Nazir base, one line. Well, there is only one line. It begins one line. Base Shammai Oimrim, Hegdish Tois Hegdish. If you make a mistake, Hegdish B'Tois, it's Hegdish. We've seen this sugya before. We've said that Beis Shammai says ain't Shela Behegdish. And we inferred, he never said that, but we inferred, why is there no Shela Behegdish? Because since there's no Hegdish B'Tois is Hegdish, so what are you going to ask? Be shoyal on the Hegdish? You can't, because one of the Shelas Hegdish is I made a mistake. So good, you made a mistake. If it's Hegdish, you can't go back on it. So that was the inference, the first time he said it. But here it is. It's a very Hegdish Beis Hillel and Beis Hillel is of the opinion that what that ain't a Hegdish. Beis Hillel's opinion is ain't a Hegdish. Ketzad. Okay. Amr says the following: Shar Shachar Sheyotzemi Beisi Rishain, the black shar that comes out of my house first. Harihu Hegdish, V'yotza Lavan, and a white shar comes out. Beis Shammai Oimrim Hegdish, Ubeis Hillel Oimrim Eina Hegdish. So Pashtus, according to the Lashon, he wants the first black shar to come out, right? The first black shar to come out is Hegdish. Good. And what came out first? The white shar. So the Havimina of the Gemara right now is that he said the first shar that came out, that black, right? And it came out white. We're going to see an opinion, Ken Zayin, there's more than one shar, and the first black shar to come out, so a white can come out, but the first black one to come out afterwards could be Hegdish, and then it will be Hegdish B'Tois, which is going to be, again, we get the sugya in others. Here's the way the Gemara is learning the Hegdish B'Tois. I'm giving you a little foreshadow of the Gemara. It's learning the first shot that comes out of my house. Good, right? And I want that first shot. The first shot should be black. Good. The first shot that came out is white. That's a mistake, right? So therefore, if you hold Hegdish B'Tois Hegdish, then the white shot is going to be Hegdish. Good. There is another way to touch up his words. The first black shar to come out of the house, not the first shar, the first of the many black sharim that there are, or even two sharim should be Hegdish, and then it won't be a Shiloh of Hegdish B'Tois at all. That's exactly what your Kavana was. Good, okay. So we'll see the Gemara. Can I just to what you have? There's no machlokes yet. I touched up Shammai. Ketzad. How much shar shachar shiyotzim beisi rishain? Harihu Hegdish. The same case, just different venues. Dinar Zov Sheyala Biyadi Rishon, the first gold that comes up in my hand, Harihu Hegdish, the Yola Shel Kesef, and comes up silver. Beis Shammai Yomim Hegdish, the coin will be Hegdish despite the fact it's not gold. Ubeis Hillel Yomim Eina Hegdish, Chavya Shel Yayin Shetala Biyadi Rishon, Harihu Hegdish, Valsa Shel Shaman, he wants a wine barrel to come up, an oil barrel comes up, Beis Shammai Yomim Hegdish, Beis Hillel Yomim Hegdish. So you have the same scenario, right? 3 times, one by shar, one by coin, and one by oil and oil and wine. Okay, let's see. Let's see what the Gemara says. Beis Shammai Yomer. So Beis Shammai says the following: Hegdish. My tamayu the Beis Shammai. What's the reason? The Yalfinon techilas Hegdish may soif Hegdish. Now, what's soif Hegdish, guys? Tamura is Hegdish. What is the Gemara calling soif Hegdish? Something that gets its kedusha from an existing kedusha. How does tamura work? You have an animal that's a carbon, you have an animal that's schooling, you say zu kizu. So it's not its initial hegdish, it's not its own hegdish, it's going ahead and manifesting hegdish right from that. That's soif hegdish. What would techilas hegdish mean? The initiation of the hegdish that goes and chal on the person. Good. Now there's a chiddush by what? It's a chiddush by tamura. The pasuk says, who tamrasa yiyeh kodesh. That after the Gemara learns out in the Masechta Tamura, Yiyeh Kodesh Afilu Shoygeg. If you even b'Shoygeg, you want to say you have in front of you a carbon oila and a shlamim. You want to say a carbon oila. It turns out you want to say Tamura Soila, say Tamura Shlamim. You made a mistake. It's chal. It's chal. So just like the Seif Hegdish, the Tamura is chal b'Tois. You wanted to say oila and you said shlamim or vice versa. So too, Tchilas Hegdish, the act of being Magdish, a shar, that is initiation, it's going from a state of Chulin to a state of Hegdish, also would work. So it's a limud. You're learning out what? Hang on there. Beis Shammai Hegdish, my tamai Beis Shammai, the Afina Tchilas Hegdish, Misayf Hegdish. Matmura afilu b'tois, af hegdish afilu b'tois. What are you asking, Shragi?
Oh, twice, not making a mistake. He said, I want the black sheep to come to the heritage. And the white came out. I didn't make any mistakes. I know exactly what I said, that it didn't happen.
Okay, so we have to see. This is the problem with the Gemara. This is the problem with Let's see, guys. Let's see. I'll show you what the Taisus is. Believe it or not, the Taisus is in Lamed Gimel Lamed Aleph. Huh?
I showed that.
No, but guys, you want to take a look at Lamed Gimel Lamed Beis? Yeah. Guess what? This is all Gemara. These Taisus are all explaining Gemara. And this is the Daf Yomi's. This is the Daf Yomi. Dr. Press didn't check this one out yet. So this is but all these Taisus are explaining tonight's Gemara. So tonight's Gemara is no picnic, right? We may gain on the end, but now so let's see the Taisus, guys. My time by Shammai. Yeah, Shleif Hegdish Kari Tamura. Lamed Gimel Lamed Aleph. Ma Tamura afilu b'tois kidashina perek sheni de Tamura. Rabbi Yisrael Yehuda Yiyah. As I said, the word Yiyah Kodesh Yiyah l'Rabbis Shoge Kamezi. V'koya Krov v'Hayahu Tamrasi Yiyah Kodesh. U'Mefarish Rabbi Yochanan Hasan b'Tamura Lai Mashet Tamrasi Oil Shlamim Kamay Oil Shlamim Oim Lefana. He has an oil and a Shlamim standing in front of him, and Mat v'Ratzel Loimer Al Behemoth School and Shalafanim Haru Tamuras Oila Yom Shlamim. I kasava loy meshacha yiyet tmura of amalavan. The chal hatmura ala lavan. The hashli yafina b'shamay mat tmura b'toyis afegdish nami yachol b'toyis. Umasnisa nami ki ama shacha sheyetzim v'serishain yiyet kodesh v'yatsa halavan rishain halavan kodesh. Dachi balameima shor she. This is what he should have said. If shor sheyetzim mi basi rishain yiyet kodesh loishna shacha v'loishna lavan. Ayodam. It doesn't make difference black, white, or red. Really, what he meant was that the first one that came out. That's what he meant. So this is Shaga's question. It wasn't twice. This is really what he meant. He meant the first one to come out. That he said black was he assumed it would be black. Okay, and Basil says it's not a Tamura. Basil says the Hanimili Tamura. It says Taisus the Mikoyach Hegdish Kaasi Hu Dechayel B'Tois. Our lachute hegdish meikara, that hegdish should be chal initially. Lo yachtina. We won't go ahead b'tois and say it will work. The lo yarmin and tekilas hegdish. We don't learn the initiation of hegdish what from the end of hegdish. Uparach the time the Gemara is going to ask. Now we're doing taisus before the Gemara. Uparach the timer. Beishamai. My ilu ama. If he would have said harizu tachazu tamur lechatzi ayoin. If you would have said this tamura should be starting at the halfway point. Mihavi Tamura Miya Shaita, would it be Tamura from the beginning of the day or half the day? Elo Demati, Chatziyayim Huda Havi Tamura. Hachanami, Lehimegalia Milsa, Bahachi Purushay. Heiki Yofe Beishamai Tchilas Hegdish Mitmi Tamura. How in the world can you learn our Mishnah from Tamura? It's not comparable at all. The Hasam Kisha Yisava Loima Shashacha Yiyet Tamura, Yamalavan. He wanted the black one to be a Tamura. He wanted the black one, the animal to be a oila, right? Whatever mistake he made. The Chal Tamura ala Lavan, in Cain, Mikayim Mashahitzim Mipiv. What he said was fulfilled. Guys, what's a tois? A tois is when you piv and lay one, right? What's the mistake? I wanted to say something. I said, what he said happened. This animal should be Tamur Shlamim. It is. This black animal, I wanted to say white, but I said black. That's not a tois. That's not a tois. Aval hacha kishama v'piv shor shachar sheyotzim mibesi yeh kodesh minayin lanu l'shanos mashoytzim mipiv. How do you know to go to change from what he was bothering you? How do you know you can change from what your mouth said? Adarabba. Nemar din, right? Dasa ish lahagdish kiyim shachar. Upivali by Shavin. The Eich Neymar, Sheyesh Mashmois L'Shoina, Shiratz L'Hagdish Arishain. I feel love it. Okay, guys, outside. I'm giving you the Gemara outside. So it's a Lumdish Gemara. What's the source for Beis Shammai? Here's the source. Tamura. We know Tamura, if you blow it, it works. I'm Mishnah also, if you blow it, it works. Says the Gemara, there's a big difference in Tamura over here. By Tamura, what was the mistake by Tamura? He wanted one thing, but he said another thing. but what he said was fulfilled. I said that this animal should be Tamur Shlamim. I said this black animal should be a Tamura. It is. That's not what he wants. I don't care. His mouth and the action are synonymous. Over here, we don't know what's going to happen yet. He says, I want the first animal that's black, the first black animal. I want the first animal that comes out and I know that first animal is a black animal. That should be Kaddish. Comes out a white animal. That's not what his mouth said. So what's the tzushtel to Tamura? It's a gavaldik akash. I think that's what was one you're struggling. Okay, so let's go back in the Gemara now. Now let's go back to the Gemara. Now that we have that, the Gemara will go beautiful. Says the Gemara. You might Nachamo. Beishamay Yamin. Hegdish. My time I the Beishamay. The Alfina Techilas Hegdish. We learn the initiation of being magdish something. Mesoif Hegdish from the end Hegdish from Tamura. Ma Tamura feel betois. Av Hegdish feel betois. Ubesolamim Hani Mili Tamura. Avalachute Hegdish betois lemechtinon. You're not going to go ahead and say the initial one is going to be right now. Good. Ula Beishamay. Ma ilu Omar. Harizet tachazeh l'chatziyoin. This animal will be a tamura at 12 p.m. Mi havi tamura mehi shaita. It's going to be a tamura at 6 a.m. No. Ella adamati chatziyoin hu havi tamura. Hachanami l'chim megalia milsa. Here too as well, when it becomes revealed, right? Here too, when it becomes revealed, that what? When it becomes revealed that this is what I wanted, then it's what I wanted. I'm saying, when you go ahead and say that you want something to reveal a certain thing, right? So what are you saying? You're saying that this is what I want. This is exactly what you wanted. That's what Tosfos seems to say. How could you? Beisil saying, how is it possible for Beis Shammai to learn from Tamura? By Tamura, exactly what he wants. It's not going to be chal until it's chal. That's exactly what he wanted, right? Masha'en came over here, but again, what he wanted to happen is happening. Not by Tamura. By Tamura, clearly is happening, but over here, it may be the same thing. The same thing may be only what you want to happen, but it's not comparable. Because it's not happening what you wanted to happen. Your voice is, well, you wanted black, it's white. By Tamura, what you wanted. But the lashon is a little megumgam. Right? The lashon of Tosfos, guys. The aim das ha'ish lahagdish kiyim shacharu. He only wanted to magdish a black animal. Upivali by shavin. And you need your mouth and your lay 3 shavin. How do you know you wanted to be Magdash Rishon even the first one? Guys, what are we saying? We're saying the first one that comes out is what he wanted. We're saying the first one, so it must be the Hegdish B'tois is Hegdish. You can't compare the two. By exactly what he wanted to happen, what he said happened by Tamura. What he said by Shlamim, by black and white didn't happen. But the lashon of so now, guys. So Rabbi is going to say a chiddush. Rabbi is going to say that it's not. Rabbi Shammai holds hegdish b'tois loishmei. It's not. He's going to touch up the Mishnah a little differently, guys. Guys, listen to me. Outside, here's the way he's going to touch up the Mishnah. I didn't mean the first animal, guys. The way we're learning now, which is the first animal that comes out. What color is it? White. The first one's coming out white. What's the one that's kodesh? The white. That's the mistake, right? We're going to change now. Not the white animal comes out. The first animal comes out as white. The second animal comes out white. The third animal comes out as black. The black one's going to be Kaddish. Because we're going to touch up. What did he mean? The first black animal that came out. Not the first animal. The first black animal. Now, that's not a mistake. So later at Papa, you don't have a riot to Hegdish B'toy Shmei Hegdish. And Gemara's going to ask that. And the Gemara is going to ask that, but you know, we touch up his words like this, and therefore, okay, says the Gemara, Amra Papa. So it's very interesting, guys. The Tosfos points out, really, you should say Ella. You're changing gears now. Right. Ella means a dead end, and again, we're very much into the mechanics of learning Gufa and Ketani and Mamar. Yeah. When you switch gears from a teretz, you should say Ella. So until now, we thought it's Hegdish B'tois. Rav Papa is switching Ella. Since there was no Amoira previously that addressed it, it doesn't say Ella. That's Taisus. When you say Ella, when you have a previous statement from Amoira, there's no statement over here. It's the Gemara talking, right? My Tamayad Veshamai, but no one says anything. It's not Rav Chistam, Rav Sheshis. It's not. There was no Amoira stating it, right? So you can't say Ella. It's a good in the dynamics of Gemara. It's Geshmak. Now, Ella is you say this, Ella, I say this. No, there's no one talking. It's like the Gemara talking. Things your Rabbi never taught you that the Gemara talk without a person there. So it says Ella. So Amra Papa Lakach Nema Rishain. What does that mean? Why do you say Rishain? He should say the first black ox. Good. Why do you say Rishain? L'chashayitza Rishain. Right. With the first one that comes out. Kamar. So in other words, Mashma. He said he meant the first black shor. Mashma is only one black shor. Mila askin the lesle elahai. Light sricha the islay taran. Tilsa has 2 or 3. So therefore, you just switched gears totally, guys. In the first teretz you held, guys, it's Hegdish B'tois. Where you're learning it out from? Tamura. For the Gemara, it's not similar to Tamura at all. By Tamura, exactly what you said is happening. Over here, exactly what you said is not happening. And for the Gemara, you're right. Says the reason why when it says that it's Kaddish, you know what it means? It means the first black one that comes out. It's not the first one that comes out. It means the first black one that comes out. Okay.
But if you didn't say it like that, would it be that the first? If he said just the first animal came out and it comes out white, then even the black one wouldn't be.
If the first one that comes out, there's not a twice.
No, I'm saying it would be white according to this explanation. Then if the black one came out after, it wouldn't. If you don't say this at the he meant the first black one that comes out. He meant the first one that.
What was his lashon? What's his lashon?
You're saying the first one that is black that comes out.
The first one that is black that comes out.
That's the first one. The first one that comes out the black one that comes out first. In other words, the black one should come out first. The white one comes out.
The black one that comes out is first, right?
So Rabbi is saying that the black one, the first black one is going to be Hegdish no matter what.
Correct.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have any Hegdish here.
Right. That I'm saying that's how it. We're
Right.
touching up what Beis Shammai meant. We
Right.
thought it meant the first one that came out, despite the fact that it's not black. And we're saying, and therefore Hegdish B'toish may Hegdish. We're asking on Beis Shammai. Powerful question. If your source for Hegdish is Tamura, you can't use that as a source. So therefore, it must be. What's the reason? We switched gears totally. A total new teretz. Okay, so Beis Hillel on mem imkain sheyatza rishon mi boile. It should say not sheyatza mi basi. That's the way Taisus explains. Not the first one that came out of my house. It should just say sheyatza rishon. Why are you saying the first one? Why are you stressing my house, guys? The first one that came out. Again, we're touching up a lashon, guys. Pirish. Shammai says the first black one that comes out. Says, so why would Beis Hillel argue on that? If guys, look at me, guys, look at me. If the machloikis is not in Hegdish B'tois, what's the machloikis in? And according to the first teretz, very good. He learns from Tamura, Beis Shammai. Beis Hillel does not learn from Tamura. You got a good, nice, beautiful. But if you're telling me it's a shaila in lashon and Beis Shammai is agreeing with Beis Hillel that, like Rav Papa, that Hegdish B'tois is not kodesh. So what's the machlokes then? How do you touch up the lashon? So in other words, so you look at the Mishnah. It's very weird. Says the Gemara, now it should say the following. It's like you, Beis Shammai. Shar shacha sheyotza rishon. That's what it should say. Why are you saying the word mibesi? There's a hakpada, the first thing out of the barn, and therefore Beis Hillel argues. So no, it's because of the word basi. I can't touch up like that. Guys, you good? Again, but it's again, that's the dynamics of the Gemara so far. Now the Shragi's question, if that's the case, fellas, Kate said, you're telling me Beis Shammai Yom and Hegdish B'tois Hegdish, and the way the Pop is learning is a steer to the Mishnah, right? It's not speaking of English at all, B'tois at all. Says the Gemara. Amalei Rav and Barnish l'Ravashi. Hi Hegdish B'tois who Hegdish Kavanahu. Guys, according to your Shara Papa, it's not Hegdish B'tois. It's exactly what you mechavin according to Beis Shammai. Ais mechavin. The first black animal that comes out is kodesh. That's not a tois. That's exactly the mechuvein. Says the Gemara. I'll tell you what he meant. Mishum da atye ledibure. The tois is in the lashon, the strange lashon that over here. It's over here. The tois is, since it's not so clear, that we need a clarification, it's considered a tois. Guys, since the lashon is not so clear, and we have to touch up, that's the tois. So it's not a mistake in Hegdish. It's the lashon lends itself to making a mistake. No, Yiftach. No, the question was what he thought. But the question was what he thought. He thought that I think the Medrash says he had a pet goat or pet sheep that always greeted him like a dog, and his daughter came out first. But again, that wasn't a mistake in the lashon. That's what he meant when he said. Anyway, the savar mishum da atil diburi kama. The savar beishami hegdish b'tois. Now, okay, guys, we have a teretz. Guys, outside. Recap, guys, outside. We have says the Mishnah. Says the Mishnah hegdish b'tois. Says beishamai is hegdish. Says beis hillel lo havi hegdish. First teretz, classic case. Tamura, you go ahead. I want to say shlamim. I say oyla. Hegdish b'tois. It's hegdish. Slave Hegdish says beishamai. I'm going at the beginning of hegdish from slave Hegdish. Just like I blew it by slave Hegdish, it works. So to begin this hegdish works, right? Beis hillel says it doesn't work. Why we don't learn out from Tamura? Fred Gemara Kasha. How can you learn from Tamura? Tamura exactly wanted what he wanted happen. Over here, it's not what he wanted to happen. And for the Gemara, you're right. So the Papa, I'm going to switch gears. It's not speaking case of hegdish b'tois. It's speaking hegdish b'mechuvin, and we're touching on what he said. What he meant to say is not the first animal that came out, the first black animal came out. So the difference between the Tanakama and base and Rapapa is clear. Like Rapapa, the only animal that can be cut has got to be black. That's why it's a little, that's why it's a mistake. Anyway, so the first animal to come out is black. Like the Tanakama, it's white. Got it? Good. Says the Gemara. But you have a problem. Like Rapapa, the lashon of Mishnah is difficult, right? Amalei Rabbi Barnish Levashi. Hi, Hegdish b'toisu. Where Rapapa you're learning this is Hegdish b'tois. Hegdish b'kivanahu. This is the case of Hegdish b'kavana. And the Gemara Mishum the Atili the word Kama. Fred the Gemara v'Sava v'Shami the Hegdish b'tois loyavi Hegdish. 1 second. Now we're going to go through Mishnayos and prove that Beishami holds Hegdish b'tois havi Hegdish.
It doesn't upset the Rapapa. Whether Beishami holds what Beishami holds, we don't really care regarding this. He's just saying a statement. Beishami could technically hold.
The Mishnah. He's the. I think.
Nothing to do with it.
No, I would respectfully disagree, because the Rapapa is saying Pshat in our Mishnah. The Rapapa is saying Pshat in the Machloikis between Beishami and Hillel and our Mishnah. And our Mishnah says the Machloikis is contingent upon toys. Beishami Yoimim Hegdish toys Hegdish. I'm saying, but again, the lashon he's saying Pshat in the Mishnah, and the Mishnah says toys. But Lo Europe, where's the toys? So the toys is the lashon. It's a kvetch the lashon. We learn twice one way. He's saying no, it's not a mistake. It's like it could have used a more clear lashon. Now we're going to prove now that Beishami holds like the Tanakama, not like Reb Papa. That Hegdish b'tois what Shmei is Shmei Hegdish, right? Mi shenada b'nazir. A guy made a neder b'nazir. It's been the next Mishnah. He makes a neder b'nazir, and he drinks wine or something. V'nishal l'chachamim, and the chacham Yisraeli says, yes, he tells the chachamim, Shemech Pesach Charata, if you allow Charata, ve'itiru, they say you're not a nazir. V'hoisla behemim ufreshes. He went ahead. What did he do, guys? He separated an animal for his naziris. We spoke out 3 animals you bring. Catch you up and speed 3 animals. You bring a shlamim, a chatas, and an oila, right? You bring a male, a female, and an ayil, and he separated them when he was a nazir. But what's he now? Not only now is he not a nazir, he never was a nazir, guys. Not only was he not a nazir, now he never was a nazir, right? So therefore, teitzei v'torah be'eda. What do? You go ahead. It's chulin. It's chulin. What are you going to do? You're going to go out. It's going to go out for Tira Be'eda. It's going to go out as schooling. In other words, you don't have to, no p'tir, you don't need, there's no hegdish, there's nothing to be paida, finished, clean. Omru Beisol Beishamai. Iatem moidim shehegdish b'toisu, v'teitzi v'tira be'eda. He said to him, aren't you moida that hegdish b'toisu, that he was thought he was a nazir and he's not, and now it's going be'eda? So obviously from the retort from Beis Hillel to Beis Shammai, obviously you see that he holds hegdish b'tois. And that's sorry, Beishamai hegdish b'tois havi hegdish. Ella says the Gemara, bechlal the sorry Beishamai hegdish. Okay, Ella says the Gemara, no, he really doesn't hold this hegdish. Ella Beis Hillel who the kotoi. Beis Hillel made the mistake. So b'tamai the Beishamai mishum the hegdish b'tois havi hegdish. In other words, he made the mistake when he said to him that hegdish b'tois is that's what Rabbi Beis Hillel thought the svara of Beis Shammai was. The Amri Lom Beis Shammai la mishum hegdish b'toisu, el mishum da'atya l'dibura kama, right? That he, again, mistake, the first mistake the first mistake over here that I guess that they made a mistake that he's shol on the hegdish. Says the Gemara, the Sari Beis Hillel hegdish b'tois lavi hegdish tashma. I'll prove to you. Okay. Hayim halchim mederach, guys. Put in the word shisha. It makes more sense now. Okay. You see the word hayim halchim mederach? Okay, so just take a look at Lamed Gimel Lamed Aleph. Third Taisus in the bottom. Pashma. Shisha shahayim halchim mederach. Okay. 6 people, right? 6 people. You got six people walking along. You're going to see from the flow of the Gemara, it makes a lot of sense. So you got 6 people walking along. 6 people on the base. You got 6 people walking along. The echad ba kinegdon, and one comes opposite them. They see a person in the distance. The Amar echad, and one says, Hareini Nazir, shezeh pliny. You know, this is like it's like FanDuel, right? They're taking odds. FanDuel. They're betting. They're taking odds. Here's the guy. He's walking along. Hey, I bet you that's this guy, and I'm a Nazir. And what happens? And the other guy says, the Echad Amar, Hareini Nazir, she'ein zeh pliny. Guess what? I'll be a Nazir, he's not. So either one of them is Zichar or Nazir, right? Now, the third guy says, Hareini Nazir, she'echem michem Nazir. The third guy says, I'm a Nazir, if one of you are a Nazir. She'ein echem michem Nazir. And the fourth guy says, I'm a Nazir, if one of you is not a Nazir. And then the fifth guy says, I'm a Nazir, sheshnechem Nazirim. And the sixth guy says, whatever, shekulchem Nazirim. And they're all Nazirim. The sixth guy didn't say that, they're all Nazirim. Now, okay, anyway, this is clearly betois, guys. One of the Naziris is betois. The first guys, right? The first round, it's betois. Good? So if Shammai says they're all Nazirim, obviously he must hold Hegdish b'tois, Havi Hegdish. So Shammai Kulam Nazirim. Shammai says,
why the last one who says that?
The 6 guys shall Kulcham Nazirim. You'll see the Rosh himself. Shammai Kulam Nazirim. The Hahacha Hegdish b'tois who the Ketani Kulam Nazirim. Good. So the army Savar Shammai Hegdish b'tois Havi Hegdish. Okay, the Gemara says you're right. Right. It must see that what? That Hegdish b'tois is Hegdish. Now, if Hegdish b'tois is Hegdish, then you still have, if the limud is from, the limud, I can't be from Tamura because you have that problem, but this, again, you've proven that he holds Hegdish b'tois, Havi Hegdish.
Back to the original discussion, it's not a mistake. I'm telling, I'm a Nazir if that guy is Chaim Shmuel. He's not Chaim Shmuel. I'm still a Nazir.
When I said my kavana was that this person was who he was, and therefore he wasn't. Right? That's the choice.
If I say, I'm a Nazir if your name is Bob. Please don't tell me your name is Bob.
I didn't know.
I'm not making a mistake. I'm telling you, I'll be a Nazir if your name is Bob. Why am I a Nazir? That's exactly what this guy is saying. I'm a Nazir if that guy is Chaim Shmuel, and it wasn't Chaim Shmuel.
But he made a Kabbalah of Naziris. In other words, it was soimich on that this guy was so and so, or the first guy, or not so and so.
Oh, he wanted to be a Nazir?
Right, he wanted to be a Nazir. Yeah, he wanted to be a Nazir. No, he wanted to be a Nazir. No, he wanted to be a Nazir.
Oh, he wanted to be a Nazir.
Yeah, they both want to be Nazir. They're making Kabbalah Naziris. Okay, good.
I thought it was just like a joke.
No.
I want to be a Nazir, so I'm saying.
No. Hareini Nazir, I'm a Nazir, Shazeh Pliny. No, and then it's not plain. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. Okay, so now at this point, he's holding, at this point in time, the Gemara is holding that what? That we're going to hold that, the right. Okay, so here we're saying, there he says it, but here not. So here's the way you read the Gemara, guys. Beishamei Hegdish b'tois havi Hegdish, but hacholoi, meaning, over there you're right. You have a riot from there. You just don't have our Mishnah from the black and white Shorim. That's, look at Taisus, guys, Taisus. Lamed Gimel Lamed Aleph. Taisus learns a different shot. No, I'm not going to do Taisus. I like the rush. I'll go with the rush. I'll go with the rush. Back by us. I mean, Rush is by us. He's not in any crazy place. Okay, if you look at the rush, I have it halfway down. It should be an Amri Hacha b'divrei Beishamai. You got it? Yeah. In the new Gemaras, it's bold. If in the old Gemaras, it's halfway down the thin lines. Amri Hacha b'divrei Beishamai hegdish b'toyes have a hegdish. Over there, by the case of the 6 guys walking along at his hegdish, hasam loy. Mahidin Nazirim vaday ikala mashma. From there, the case of Nazirim we could be mashma the savrei hachi. That hegdish b'toyes have a hegdish. The hasam vaday nazir b'toyes. Therefore, certainly it's a nazir b'toyes. Because Amar, and we say the cool and Nazirim, and in other words, they're all going back based upon the first guy. Mishum the cool and nazir chavin. They're all mechavin for Naziris, and it's still based upon a mistake. The efshad the chalechad hayataya, vayasava the efshad liyas kidvarav. Right? It's possible that like his mouth. But hoitzim piv kabbalas nazir. If it's true, Vaslin and basa piv, we go after his mouth. The afgav the toy, who even though he made a mistake, midi the haviat tmura. Right? Maybe perhaps it's like Tamura, where he thought it's one thing, it's another thing. Our Mishnah, by the black and white, it's not similar to Tamura like we said before, because by Tamura, what he wanted to happen is happening over here, it didn't happen yet. In other words, the reason why the Mishnah, okay, guys, we have a Mishnah outside. Guys, look at me. We have a Mishnah. The Mishnah says that the first shor that walks out of his house, the white one that walks out of his house, is Kodesh. You wanted a black one, Hegdish b'tois havi Hegdish. That's what we said. Where do you learn out from Tamura? Afraid the Gemara, how could you compare it to Tamura? By Tamura, what he said wanted to happen, happened. But he said he wanted this. Over there, what he wanted to happen did happen. He wanted a black first, and he got a white first. Yes? By Tamura, he got exactly what he wanted. That's the kasha. Therefore, what do our papas say? It's not the reason why it's Kaddish is not because Hegdish b'tois. The reason why it's Kaddish because we touch up his words. How do we touch up his words? Not the first ox to come out, the first black ox to come out. So the white one comes out first. It's not Kaddish. The second, whatever. The first black one that comes out is Kaddish. Good. And now from our Mishnah, the way we touch up later Papa, it has nothing to do with Hegdish b'tois. It says b'tois because the words are not so clear. We have to go and clarify. Says the Gemara, how can you tell me that Beis Shammai does not hold? Hegdish b'tois layavi Hegdish. 6 guys are walking along. One, they see a guy in the distance. They say, yeah, that's Ruvain. If that's Ruvain, I'm a Nazir. The other guy says, that's not Ruvain, it's somebody else. If that's then it's not Ruvain, then I'm a Nazir. And everyone's soymich on that, and they start building up. Kulam Nazirim. Says, you see Hegdish b'tois, because the Naziris that he made was b'tois. Good. Says the Gemara. You're right. Over there, you can bring a raya. All I wanted to say, you can't bring a raya from a Mishnah because of the way Rav Papa can touch it up. It has nothing to do with Hegdish b'tois. Right? That's the key. Because the way Rav Papa touches it up.
Holds.
Beis Hillel holds like Rav Papa. You can't touch it up the way because the word Beisi. Because the word Beisi does not mean the first black. It means the first thing that comes out of the house. And the first thing that came out of the house was what was white. Okay, so now that was Rav Papa's teretz. Good. Abai is now going to give a teretz, guys, and we're going to say that our Mishnah holds Hegdish b'tois, and that's we're going to go back to the original premise, and we're going to avoid the kasha from Tamura, Now, so again, the last words over here, you read him. The Ketani Kulin is Zirim Ami. Savi Reisel Hegdish b'tois Havi Hegdish, but hachaloi, meaning from there you can learn it out, but hacha or hasam there from our Mishnah you can. Abai Omar. Loi kasal kedaitach the koyim b'tzafra. It's not seeing that, guys. When did the cattle go out? In the morning. Good. In the morning the cattle go out. They take them out of the barn. They go put them in the fields. So now you think it's speaking in the morning, and he's making kabbalas naziris based upon futures. What's the future? The animal that will come out, right? Elahacha mayaskinon the koyim b'tihara. He's going in the afternoon. It's night. It's. In other words, it happened already. It happened. V'amar shar shacha. Now here's a little digduk. Future tense, guys, is sheyetze. Past tense is sheyotza. Right. I wouldn't have got this right at the article, so don't be impressed. Says again, so the first one, sheyetze, that will come out. So therefore, it's speaking of the future. Yotza is showing good. It happened already. So what did he say? He said, "Shor shacha sheyotza mi beis rishon lahavi hegdish." The first shor that came out of my house first is hegdish. V'amrulei lava nafuk, and they told him a white one came out. V'amrulahoin ihavi yadana the lava nafik. If I would have said a white one came out, layami shachar, I never would have said what. I never would have said what white. I never would have said black. I never would have said black. Let's see. That's what he tries to say.
No, he just thought it was a black when I said black. Right.
Yeah, Lamed Gimel Lamed Aleph at the bottom. You're back to Lamed Gimel Lamed Aleph. The back. Yeah, we're going back and forth. Abaye Rama, I don't want you guys to get over Motzei Shabbos. Say we go back through this very quickly. I want to make Miyaisa. Anyway, Abaye Rama loy sal kedaitach the koybet sarfin halachach me'eskim the koybet sarayim. Says the bottom line in Tosfos. Shvayotzu abehemis min abayis. The key, they already went out. Leroy's the maret to graze. V'amar shosh sheyotze kvar mi beis rishon l'chol hashvarim hein shchorim hein levenim, whether they're white or whether they're black on the base, right? Lahavi hegdish. V'amuloi lovan yotzat tchila. A white woman out first. V'amar ihavi adina the lovan nafik lehavi amar shachar. I never would have said black. Ela lovan. The hashta yesh lo l'meima. We could say shahayadaitoi. What was his das? L'chol mi sheyotza rishon u'mishamachi havi hegdish. Afilu a lovan. Even if the white one would be the afina mi tamura. The havi hegdish. Afilu b'tois. Right. That he said the first black one, but even if the white one came out. Right, because he goes, had I known as a white one, I would have said white, but it's a mistake. It's because he said black. But by a sphirule, the ikoy bit safre was in the morning. V'amar shor shacha sheyotze rishon v'amlei love and nafik. That he was in the morning and he would say the shor shacha sheyetze rishon. The first black one went out. V'amlei love and nafik. V'amar yihavi adina and the love and nafik. Hava amina. I would have havi amina. I would have said the baha feel beishamay moida doli havi hegdish. Sharilovi yada sheyatza shachat chila lekulan. So v'ami hiska shaka idaitoi hoya lahagdish kol mishiyatz rishon. But not sahadi lechachila. In other words, if he would, he would be moida if it's in the past, in the future tense. If he said shachar and it was lavan, it wouldn't be kaddish. Right. But over here, this is similar. This is similar to Tamura. This is similar to Tamura. It happened already. In other words, Tamura said this, I want this and this. So he said, when I said that, I really meant that. When I said black, I'm black. I really meant anything that comes out first. The reason why I said black is I heard the hooves of the black one I heard first. The Rush explains. I guess the hooves of the black sound different than the hooves of the white. So that's the way Abaya learns. So Abaya changes it around. What?
Let's jump better.
They have Air Jordans.
We're on tape, and I'm just owning any of these remarks. I don't agree with any of them.
His Black History Month blog.
We're blogging Black History Month. Okay. Anyway, it's like, gosh. Anyway, so according to Abaya goes full circle. He goes a whole different shot. Abaya said, he would agree that the love won't be kaddish. The shachar won't be kaddish. He says that it's speaking where it went out already, and since it went out already, obviously he thought it was a black one, but it was a white one. By Tmura, he thought it was a shlomim, and it turned out to be an oila. Therefore, it's learned from Tmura. That would be Abaya, what Abaya learns. Okay, let's finish up. Says the Gemara a little bit about black and white, a little more about black and white. Not yet. How can you say it's speaking that it's in the afternoon it took place? Guys, we had two other cases in the Mishnah. We had a case of coins and a case of wine. Good? So for Ketani, Dina Shel Zohav Sheyale, the Dina Sheyale that will come up. So Tani Shala, learn what? That came up. Chavya Shel Yayin Shetala, that you'll bring up. Tani Shalasa, that came up. Okay, just switch it to past tense. Amrav Chisda, Uchma b'chivra lakya. If you have a black among white, a black one among white, lakya, that's bad for business. seems it brings down the price to the herd. Baruch, don't say it. I know. So therefore, if you have a black animal in a white herd, the herd goes down in price. Let's skip the next words. Says the Gemara, Shacha sheyotza Taran. Shacha sheyotza miveiser rishon hegdish. Now, the first black one that comes out of my house is hegdish. Now, kasal kedaitach ki magdish ba'ayin ra magdish. A person when he's magdish ba'ayin ra. But Amar Beis Shammai have a hegdish, and Beis Shammai says that what? It's hegdish. Now, ayin ra would mean that a black one came out, but you're telling me the one that came out is white is kaddish. But if you're magdish ba'ayin ra, he's not going to be magdish an expensive white one. His mind was what? A cheap black one, correct? And he's going to be magdish a expensive white one. So therefore, why is it hegdish? Now we have a problem. Forget the toys problem. How could it be hegdish if what? If he's magdish ba'ayin ra, meaning he's a cheap guy. So why would he be magdish what? A white animal. Ve'lamai ba'ayin yafa magdish. So you'll say ayin yafa, and that's why the white is hegdish. What about the next case? Dina shel zav. What's worth more, guys? Gold or silver? Obviously gold. So Dina shel zav sheyala biyadei rishon v'ola kesef be'shama yomim hegdish. 1 second. Why is it hegdish? After all, if it's you're telling me the love on the white ox, you can infer ayin yafa, right? Now you're telling me that what this kesef is kaddish. That's ayin ra. You're going both ways. Ve'lamai, what are you going to say now? Ayin ra magdish. What about the third case? Chavish sheyayin shetala biyad rishon v'ola shel shemen be'shama yomim hegdish. So shemen adif miyayin is more expensive. Says when imishum had less kash like kash is not a problem. B'galil shanu, that's speaking in the galil. The chamra adif mishcha chamra is more choshev than mishcha, and therefore ba'ayin rad, so mishcha would be kaddish. Nonetheless, Reish Kasha Rav Chisda, why is the white one kaddish if ba'ayin ra it shouldn't be kaddish? Rav Chisda kiami betur the karmenoi. We're speaking about the ox that came out was turu karmenoi. It seems to be a cheaper sort of ox, so it's not it's not kaddish. The oxen here are turu karmenoi. So how would that answer the kasha? How would that answer the kasha? I just was the white one's turu karmenoi, so it's cheap. So it's cheap, right? It's ayin yafa, and the white one's turu karmenoi, so it's cheap, right? That's the test. Okay, from Rav Chisda, uchma l'mashre, a black one's good for its skin. Sumka l'bisre, a roan colored is good for its what meat. Roan, R-O-A-N. That's red. Yeah, that's red. Sumka, is red. They call it red, but it's probably roan. Spend a little more to educate you a little bit. No,
not like a fire.
No, not like a fire. Not like a fire truck. Yeah, and chivra l'radya, a white one is good for plowing. If you have a black ox, bechivri with a white spot, lakir. It's a sign of saras, in fact. So ki amri, when do we say that? It's betur the karmenoi, by tur karmenoi, which is inferior anyway. Yeah, they didn't say it's